have this? Yes. Okay, so Edgar has a new job, and today we're gonna walk him through, all the information that he would have completed to get to this point for tax purposes. All right, so the first day, what happens on the first day of work when you go in and you actually get hired? Thomas? First day, you get hired, what's gonna be required of you? Go, you don't need to raise your hand. You have to fill out a W-4, all right? What is the purpose of a W-4? Who's in control of it and what's the purpose? It tells your employer how much you want to pay in taxes. What other paperwork would you do on the first day? An I-9. Explain to me what an I-9 is.
It's like your legal status.
Okay, say it again.
It's like your legal status paperwork.
It's your legal status paperwork. So when I go in to fill out a W-4 or an I-9, we'll do a quick review of those. Those are some of the government or federal forms that you're going to have to do when you are a new hire and you're onboarding your paperwork. What are some other paperwork things that you're going to have to do the first time that you're hired for a job? Get your federal forms. What else would you maybe have to fill out? What? Maybe a 401k. So if they're offering you a retirement account, you might fill that out. You might select a health insurance policy if they're offering different plans and things like that. But today we're going to definitely focus just on our federal paperwork. All right, so we have an I-9. You know what you remember. It is definitely identity and employee authorization. It's completed by the employee, and it is a government form. When you go in, you have to have proof of identification. Maddie, what's one example of a proof of identification that would work for an I-9?
Your driver's license.
Like your driver's license. What else? Spencer?
Social security number.
Social security number, and you'd actually need the card. What's another one? Your passport will work. Or your work visa, right? So some people do come into the country and definitely they are legal and they are looking for an employment opportunity. So your work visa would work. Is there anything else that would work? Because remember that one has a combination.
Mailing address.
So you need proof of mail, kind of like your driver's license. Then you also potentially could use your birth certificate, okay? When we talk about your W-4, reviewing what you remember, you just told me that it's a tax reporting document. That's what ties to the W-2 that's in front of you, and it is definitely completed by the employee. Can the employee ever change their W-4? Yes, and when would they maybe change it? Press?
When they get a new job.
Maybe, well, definitely when you get a new job. Every time you get a job, you're gonna update it, you're gonna change it. When would be a time you would maybe make a change?
If you got like a divorce.
Okay, if your life status changed, right? Maybe if you had children, if you got a divorce, you have the right as the employee to go in and to make changes at any time.
What if you got like a raise?
If you got a raise and you wanted to do a personal change, you could do that. But remember, we're talking about how much do you want withheld, and so maybe for your raise, you want that money that can go to other places, your savings, your investing, things like that. Not always would you change it with the federal government, but if you got a really big raise and you knew that you wanted it to come out right away so you didn't have to pay taxes, that would be a really good example. Okay, so we have a 1040 tax document. Everybody in front of you has the 2024 tax document. We know that this is a document that is for individuals who are basically under the age of 65 years old and they are filing for their taxes. This is proof of your income and your expenses, any deductions or credits that you might have. And by completing this form, it is going to calculate your bill or your refund from the federal government. So what I would like you to do right now is I would like you to take the W-2 form, and we are going to use the W-2 provided, and you're going to complete this 1040 tax document. So for our 1A, which is our line from our 1040, from our W-2, how much did Edgar make in wages, tips, and compensation? $55.05. So for everybody, for line 1A, you're going to have $55.05 on that line. The worksheet tells you then from 1B all the way through 1I, we're going to put 0, all right? So when we add up all the ones, and we have to put a number on 1Z, what number did you put on 1Z? 5505, right? So 5505 plus 0 is 5505. Is anybody struggling with getting to that point? Okay, all right. Let's go to the next section, section B. The worksheet tells you that lines 2A through 6B are all zeros. The worksheet tells you that 7 and 8 are all zeros. So the next line that you should actually have a number on is line 9. It asks you to add lines 1Z, 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, 6B, 7, and 8 for your total income. What do you get? 5505, right? We have not put anything else into the calculation. Is everybody good through line 9? All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at line 10. The worksheet tells you there are no adjustments and to put a 0, and that brings us to line 11. Subtracting line 10 from 9 as your adjusted gross income, we have 5505. Okay? Everybody's good? All right. The next line, line number 12. It told us that if Edgar was a dependent, right, then we're going to add $450 to line 1A. So we take 5505 plus 450, and what do we get for line 12 that we're on? 5955. Line 13 is a 0. Line 14, add lines 12 and 13. So we add 5955 plus 0, and on line 14 we get 5955. Who is with me? Everybody? Okay. Is anybody struggling with the numbers that we're throwing out? All right. On the next line, it says, subtract line 14 from line 11. 505,955 minus 5505. What did you put on line 15?
Well, I subtracted 5505 minus 5955.
And what did you get?
Negative.
A negative
So you put a 0.
number. So you just put a 0.
You put the 0 with the dashes.
You put a 0. Alright? That means what for poor Edgar?
Owes the money.
He didn't make enough, right? Okay?
He doesn't get a refund.
And so we need to figure out, tax purposes, is it worth filing for Edgar or not?
No.
Turn over your paper. At the top, you do not need a tax chart. So what are you going to put in, starting with line 16, and that first section, 16 through 24?
0.
Zeros. Has Edgar made any payment to the IRS?
Yeah, $336.
He made $336. Drake, where did you find that number?
It's his federal income tax
It's-
withheld.
His income tax withheld on the W-2. I want everybody to find the W-2. I want you to look at your federal income tax withholding. And does everybody see the $336?
Yes.
Okay? So now for line 25, that was Edgar's payment from his W-2, 25A. We're gonna put $336. Finish out this section using the tips on your additional information sheet. Does everybody have 336 on 25A?
Yes.
Okay? And everybody knows where they found it.